Hello and welcome back to Tits, Tums and All Things Mum. I am here in my workout gear today because I've got the lovely Ro from the She Collective. How are you?
Great, thank you. So nice to be here.
Thank you for coming on. So we're going to be talking all things like fitness, health, trying to fit all of that stuff into busy motherhood today.
Yeah.
Could you start by telling us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, so as you said, my name is Ro. I am 37. I'm a mum to 3 boys, twins who are 15, so I had them pretty young, and then a 6-year-old. I am a PT, a mindset coach, and I run the She Collective, that is an online fitness and wellbeing app for busy mums.
I love that. I love that there are now popping up these things out there for busy mums because life as a mum is mental. And as we spoke about before, I have come from a fitness background before. I can't imagine ever living that life now with children. It's just so hard to try and fit any sort of fitness into life, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's so hard. And I think that's why I was sort of like felt really passionate about creating something that works with your life, not against it, because I just find that like it's hard enough, right? It's hard enough to exercise. It's hard enough to eat well. It's hard enough to have healthy habits on top of spending all of the plate.
Yeah.
And so I wanted something that makes women's lives easier rather than harder, and also takes into account that they might be like me as someone who I am not naturally motivated when it comes to exercising or eating healthily. Like I have an absolutely filthy palate when it comes to food. And but it is about making choices that actually are going to make the rest of the stuff easier.
Yeah,
that's really
and I think as a mum you get it because I've had so many PTs say to me, like when I say to them, I've only done 4 workouts this week, and they're like, well, you should have done 5. We all have the same 24 hours.
No.
I'm like,
oh my God,
fuck off, do we? No, we don't. Like, look at Beyonce. She's probably got like a personal trainer, a chef, like all these other things. Like you're a single young man with no children. We do not have the same 24 hours.
And this is the thing, right? It's not linear for women, even like in a month.
Yeah.
Like the way that you feel because of your cycle, if you have a cycle, like some days it's like, I just really want to be like, okay, it's perfectly normal to want to rather shovel shit than do a workout. Yeah. Like it's the same with parenting. Some days I would rather shovel shit than be a parent. Like we're normal human beings and we're messy humans. And I think that having a space where actually that's why like community is really strong to me, really important to me, is because it's just so nice learning that the things that you think are your failure are actually just really normal and natural. And that's really important.
I love that because so many times I've had PTs that have just made me feel really guilty about being normal. Yeah. And also like if you've got like a weightlifting program, for example, and you are due on, sometimes when I'm due on, I just want to do a bit of yoga.
Or like, absolutely. You should.
Yeah. I just want to like chill out a bit. And then they're like, but what about leg day? What about? And I'm like, no, fuck off.
No. And actually the thing is it is shown that if you are kind of like in this harmony with your hormones.
There you go. That's a new word. Harmony. There you go.
If you are in harmony, then actually, then your energy is better. Then like all of these things, they just start to like click into play. Yeah. So actually, like when you are pushing yourself through times that you are really tired, or maybe like due on or whatever it might be, that's actually really detrimental to the rest of the month. Yeah. So it's really important that we like work with our lives, work with our hormones. Like otherwise, we're just like driving a car with the brakes on. It's just, like it's exhausting and life is hard enough. And I think that's where like my life is not simple at all. And I think that's where actually, so when I am saying things, I am coming at it from a perspective where it's like it's not simple for me. Yeah. And also like, you know, earlier I was saying about kind of getting that imposter syndrome as a PT because maybe I'm not like ripped and things like that. But I always feel that like, so what I'm saying to my members is I'm saying, okay, if we can, we're trying to work out 3 to 4 times, 30 minutes. And the reason I say that is because that's what I do myself. But if I was doing 2 hours a day in the gym and was like, hey guys, come and you can look like me, you know, fit it in your busy lives. It's like, well, actually that's not realistic. And I'm just so bored of the conversation always being about what you look like. Whilst what I discovered was that actually it was about the way that it made me feel and like show up in the world. And that's really important because that's what it does for me more than anything.
Definitely. Honestly, I got a Peloton like November time, and I went like all out on it, and I bruised my coccyx so badly that I had to take a couple of weeks off to like heal my coccyx. So I took a couple of weeks off, but my mental health in that time was so shit. And as soon as I got back on the Peloton again, I just felt so much better.
And sometimes that you don't realise what it is, all these habits that you're putting in place and stuff, what they're actually doing for you until you do have that break. Like I was the same about, like I had to have a long break a couple of years ago when I had a big accident with my back. And it was the mental state. It was like, it wasn't about the way that I looked then. It was just like, I just lost my spark. I think that's what it gives you.
Yeah, definitely. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Cover My Bubble. Emma and Chris lost their baby girl Lily Beth at 1 month old and faced financial struggles on top of their grief due to not having life insurance. Now they help others by offering insurance for parents, children and bumps, covering critical illness to income protection. Visit covermybubble.co.uk to cover your bubble. Before we get into the proper depths of the fitness chat, tell us about life with 3 boys. Because I have 1 boy and that's fucking mental. So 3 boys must just be insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And they're not quiet boys on any level at all. And they each have quite intense needs. So the twins, as I was saying to earlier, so Alfie, one of the twins, has got spinal muscular atrophy. He's wheelchair bound. He needs a lot of care. He gets very poorly in the winter. And he's a bit of an arse sometimes because he's a 15-year-old boy. And then Charlie, his twin brother, has kind of got that thing that, you know, he's kind of got a bit of like anxiety because as a kid, he was quite often like bundled in the car in the middle of the night when I was taking Alfie to hospital, all of those things. You know, he's got his own needs. And then Freddie was not the third quiet girl that I ordered. Let's put it that way. So the 6-year-old is just wild. And I think it will do him a lot of good in life, but I think he has this like confidence from having these 15-year-old brothers, like you know, he's just literally like, bro, sick, bro. And you're like,
my 6-year-old talks like that as well, and I'm like, where are you getting this from? She'll call me bra, and I'm like, bra, what? I'm not your bra. Jesus Christ. Or she's like, mum, you're sus, and I'm like, what is that?
Sus?
What is sus?
That.
I'm like, oh Christ.
But it is a different world, isn't it, that they're growing up in, and they get these influences from these other places and get these quite extreme personalities, and it's really full on. And I have to say, like, I sometimes don't give myself credit for like the extra needs, and I kind of like, you know, skim over it, but it's really rough. And I think that's the thing, is that like I'm coming at what I do from a place of like, it genuinely, like when I discovered exercise when Alfie was, you know, he'd been diagnosed at 18 months old, and his prognosis was that he would have 2 to 3 years to live. And I was single parenting at the time. I'm now married to their dad, which is a bit of a turnaround for the books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he met them at 5, and I did that whole thing. I'm not going to fall in love with him, but
you did.
But you know, at the time when he was diagnosed, single parenting, it was really, really dire. Like everything was very, very bleak. And it was, like I say, in terms of the mental health side, just finding yourself again, I think can be really, really hard when you're in the midst of like everyone else's needs. And that's exactly like, I am very much in the midst still of everybody else's needs. And so that when I do make it to the mat or do anything, you know, for myself, that's when I'm able to show up and be a mum. And I'm really passionate about that, because I do think it's so easy to lose yourself. And I know that it's also so easy to be a bit of a swan. So I was sort of like, head up, everything's fine. Everyone thought I was fine. And I was absolutely paddling like crazy underneath the surface. It's full on.
I bet. But that's the thing when you're a mum, isn't it? Is that you have to prioritize everyone else's needs for so long. And I think it takes for you to actually make the decision, like, I'm going to start putting myself first. Like, it doesn't just come naturally.
It doesn't come naturally. And I think that is exactly right. I do think that it takes quite a lot of bravery and to say to the people around you. And like one of the first things that I do with like women is I say, I want you to let everybody know that this is your time, that this is what you're doing, because you need people on your side, and I want you to take it seriously. Like schedule those workouts like you would schedule a meeting, like map them in the diary. Do not let anyone mess with that time, because if you leave it to chance, like something will happen. Like life is full of curveballs. Like that is normal and natural. So it's just, so it is about saying like, I need this. I need to do something for myself.
Sometimes these kids though, they just don't want you to do these things. They're just like, like I booked the whole of half term off work. Other kids were in holiday club for the whole week because their parents had to still work, but I booked the whole week off. Anyway, I still had to do some of my bits working from home, like for the podcast, for Instagram, whatever. So I would say, right, Daddy's going to take you to the park. Mummy's got to do some work. And they'd kick off and be like, it's not fair, Mummy. Why do you have to do some work? I'm like, I literally have been off all week with you.
Outrageous, isn't it?
Or if I say that I'm going to do a Peloton workout, they're like, oh, you're always on that bike, Mummy. And I'm like, can you just fuck off? Like, let me do my thing. They just make you feel guilty, don't they?
And I think with the exercise thing, I think it is so important that actually, like, you've got to think about what you are demonstrating, particularly having a daughter.
Well, she joins in with me now because she's a gymnast and she's
brilliant.
She has to be strong. So she's doing it because she wants to be strong. So her goal currently is to do 15 pull-ups.
Oh my God, I love that.
And she's got to be strong to be a gymnast. So it is about that rather than how she looks. So she joins in. She loves it. She wishes she could reach the pedals on the Peloton.
Thing though, like when my members like share things of like, someone shared like a picture the other day of like their preschooler had like drawn their mum with like these massive like hilarious cartoon arms.
I love
being
that.
like, my mummy is so strong, and you know, and what you're demonstrating. And like I did like a body confidence workout, and it was to all those songs which were just like, you know, really female empowerment about like just like toxic diet culture and all that. And the women saying that they'd done it with their, you know, teenage daughters, and it had been all about like, right, we're going to use our arms now, let's thank our arms for this, like, you know, all of that. Like, I think it is so important because it's so sad, because we all grew up like in generations where it was so noisy, and now it's got even noisier like recently, and I think that's really like sad that we kind of feel like we made so much progress and now it just seems
it's coming back.
It's coming back.
I know. I've had to be so conscious about it though, because I am currently losing weight, but I've had to like really like reframe how I talk about it and talk about health and stuff like that. And I am doing it for health, for mental health, for not feeling sluggish or cracking all over when I get out of bed in the morning. But I've had to, like, when I'm weighing myself, I've had to be like, I'm just doing this to like to know where I'm at, kind of thing. And having come from a fitness background that was all about aesthetics, I've really had to think, like, I don't talk like that. I talk about how strong I am, how good my body feels, how good my brain feels, and all of that.
But
stuff.
that, you know what, the thing is that what's interesting is that is why you will make sustainable changes. Because I always say to like women, don't make weight loss your why, because that is not enough to get you back to the mat when, say, you've had a sick kid or you've had a work drama or whatever curveball has come your way. If you actually focus on your well-being over weight loss, it's science, right? So if you are looking after your body, if you are eating well and you are exercising and you are taking all these actions, it's going to happen. But if you start to make it just about weight loss, what happens when you're due your period and you stand on some scales and you've put on some weight? What happens when you've had a big weekend and suddenly you've eaten lots of salty food, so you've got water retention? It just saps the joy out of it.
Or when you start lifting weights and you put on muscle.
Exactly.
Because my weight initially went up. Because I've got big old quads and my muscle memory just... So I put on like half a stone initially, but then obviously it comes back off again. But anyone else who was on like a weight loss journey would look at the scales and be like, oh, fuck this, I'm not doing it. But because I know like the science behind muscle and fat, like you just can't look at the scales.
And that's where it's like, it's interesting, because I do think there is that sense of like education is empowerment, like because you know that you're able to make better decisions and understand it. And I think that it just comes from like, if you're somebody who's just living a busy life, hasn't really got into that stuff before, and then you're just being told to like, you know, just it's just a simple case of calorie deficits and stepping on scales, then actually like it's so much more complicated than that. Like it's
especially with women and hormones and all of the other stuff that we have going on, it's much more complicated than a calorie deficit.
It is. And also you've got to think like, well, say like an apple and a biscuit have got the same calories in them probably. In fact, the like apple or banana might have more, but not thinking about like the antioxidants, minerals, like all of these things that are
this is where actually... I'm always going to whinge about what's it called? What's that food plan called? I can't think of. It's like Keto? Weight Watchers, but it's a different one. They have sins.
Oh God, no, you really
I can't think.
Slimming World.
Yeah, because they do it like that, don't they? And you can eat a biscuit instead of an apple, and it's still okay. And I'm like,
world? Like,
no, it's
like
not okay.
It's going to like lift you up, and then it's going to crash you down.
But yes, you're in a calorie deficit, but you're going to feel like utter shit if you live on biscuits for your whole life.
And it is like it's so many of us, it's like waking up, you're really tired, right? Your cortisol levels are at the highest in the morning. The first thing we do is go and have a cup of coffee.
I mean, I'm guilty for that, I'm not gonna lie.
You know, it is, you know, it's very normal. It's what most people do, right? But I found such a difference. I was really snappy, really, really stressed in the mornings. And then I stopped doing that. And then I did have my protein rich breakfast and waited to have my coffee. And it was wild to me that it was such a simple change. And yet suddenly I wasn't this like stressed thing in the mornings. And it was just because it's like, otherwise what happens is we start our day on this roller coaster. And then we're just like, we dip down. So we need sugar to boost us back up. We dip down and then we have caffeine. And it's like exhausting.
And women need more protein as well. And I think protein is the thing that we probably all lack, because when you're eating shit, it's usually not got a lot of protein in it. It's usually packed with carbs, not good carbs either.
Absolutely.
So we're not getting the protein that we need for our hormones, for our bodies, all of that stuff. So I think if people just start the morning with a nice protein rich breakfast,
you're just setting yourself up for success. I would say if you want to start with anything, start with the bookends of your day. So it's the way you start your day and the way that you finish your day, and you'll find that so much of those in between bits just sort of fall into place.
Definitely. So how do we as mums actually prioritize health and you know, meal prepping, healthy food and exercise, like with all this other stuff going on? How do we do that?
Well, I think it's like I was saying at the beginning, it's about having something that works with your life. There is no point if you are somebody who, say, if you know, you're saying, I want to get fit, but I'm not going to do it at home. But you can't get to a gym. Well, you've got to kind of start by like calling yourself out on your own bullshit. For some of the different things. If you're saying, I haven't got time, but I'm spending half an hour doom scrolling on my phone every night, like whatever it might be. So I do think there is like, it's not a harsh thing, but it's a sit down with yourself at the beginning and going, okay, well, what actually am I able to fit into my life? Like, because if I make this difficult, this is going to be really hard. Like if I make this easy as possible, I'm setting myself up for success. So like the things that I would say are just like, we've got to get out of this habit of thinking that 45 minutes or more of exercise is all that, you know, counts. It's not at all. It's the small little consistent bit. You're not going to make it to the mat if you're doing something that you don't enjoy. And gone are the days of like having to beast our bodies with HIIT. Like actually, if you are 30 plus, like your body doesn't actually like that, because what happens is we're having high intensity, high impact lives, and then you're layering high impact, high intensity exercise on top, and we've got these nervous systems that are absolutely fried, frazzled as fuck as it is. And so actually that can do more damage than good. And so work with your hormones, work with all these things. If you go with the tide, and the other thing is like, if you are standing at the bottom of the mountain, right, and you're looking at this mountain and it's like, that is my health journey, holy shit, this is really, really scary. You wouldn't do that first without a map. So like you know, following a program or like having somebody who's been there, somebody who knows the way, say, okay, look, this is how we take the first step. This is how we take the second step. That's really important. But also, like, don't do it alone. Like, I think there is so much power in like women being together and doing the journey alongside each other.
Yeah.
And like, that's why community, I'm like so hot on community, because these women aren't like, they're not women that you need to go for a coffee with. They're not women who are asking for your time. They're just simply women who are at the same point of their journey, who actually like want to cheer you on, or maybe just want to be that hand when you're like, shit, I can't do this, I'm overwhelmed. And then just like that little hand to go, hey, you can do it. Like, I know you're busy. Like all those things are just really like, they're like that comfort blanket that you need. And I think that so many of us go, oh, there's so many free resources out there. I can get on YouTube, I can do a video. You can, but is that going to be the most effective way? And are you actually going to do it? You've got to ask yourself, am I actually going to do it? And am I actually going to enjoy it? Because if you don't enjoy it, you will not do it. And so it is those small little success stories, because so many people say, I'm not naturally motivated. And when they're not naturally motivated, it is all about building up that momentum. You're only going to build up momentum if you're having like, oh, I did it. I actually said I was going to do it and I did it. That's a real like moment of pride for yourself. So I think there's lots of ways that we can make the journey easier. And it's really hard when it's so noisy out there and there's so much conflicting advice. So my advice is always just like simple, get the help where you need to. Like, we live in a world where all of these things have been made to be accessible now, thank goodness, because you know, a few years ago you'd have to pay thousands for a plan. But what the other thing I was going to say, sorry, I'm on a roll, but last thing is that, you know, when you are following a plan, just think about who's designed it, and is that your niche? So like we were saying, right, what is the point in having a 20-year-old guy who has no kids, who has no like hormonal fluctuations monthly, all of those things, design you a plan that is not going to work with your life, that is going to get you meal prepping, doing all of these things that are just, if you look at it and go, you've got to look at it and go, could I do that every week in, like, as long as life is playing ball, in and out for the rest of my life? If the answer is no, like, don't do it. Don't do it. So it's like, so it's actually like what you need, like, say, for example, in your 30s and 40s is completely different to in your 20s. So get somebody who's designed a plan, who understands that you are a woman of a certain age with a certain lifestyle, with, you know, children or whatever your life situation is. Somebody who understands that is really important, because when you work with an understanding of your niche and what you need as a woman, you're going to get the best results, and that is going to spur you on. And they're going to be understanding as well. If you do have a day where you don't do your workout because you're on your period heavy or whatever, they're going to be like, it's cool, don't worry about it, instead of making you feel like shit for having not done it. Because I think that the thing that I found, like, initially I got women in and we were just concentrating on exercise and nutrition, and you know, that gets you results so far. But what happens then when you are like 10 days, 2 weeks in, and one of those inevitable curveballs in life comes? Because if your mindset is like in that space of, and I know it's such a buzzword, and I always get like funny about the word mindset, wellness, like all of that stuff, because it can be a bit icky, but like, if your mindset is really shot and you are somebody who's just like on the wagon, off the wagon, all of those things, crash diet, quick fix, all of those things, then the moment that life like throws a curveball, you're going to completely just be like, oh, sod it. But actually, that's why I like became a mindset coach as well, because what I saw was that we were just like standing in our own way in terms of like health and fitness. Like, self-sabotage was huge. Like, that's what we were learning so much. And so by understanding what happens at different parts of the journey, like I always say to women now, I'm like, don't expect anything good to happen until that 10th workout. Like you got to get that far before you start making those breakthroughs, and we call it the magic 10, because when you reach the magic 10, it's like the domino effect kicks in, and suddenly you're sleeping better. You don't feel like eating so much crap because your energy is better and your mood is better, and it all starts to make sense. But until that point, you can just basically, if you succumb to going, okay, I know this is going to be hard, but I'm just going to put everything I can into place place to get to that sort of magic 10
Yeah.
area. And then understanding, even like we call it the week 3 wobbles, like generally everyone has a bit of a wobble on week 3.
Yeah.
And we know but when you know it's coming, it's a bit like being on your bike and seeing a pothole. You can kind of either avoid it or you know, it's like a wave and you just have to ride it out.
I love that. So on that note, we're going to go head over and you're going to do a little demonstration of some things that people can do to help with that.
Very serious.
Yeah, very, very serious. So let's head over.
Okay.
So here we are. You're going to show us a couple of your moves from your dance party workout.
And you are dressed perfectly.
I'm dressed perfectly. I put a sports bra on as well. Because last time I did this with someone, I didn't have a sports bra on. And I slowed the video down and all you could see was boom, boom. I was like, okay.
I'm totally inappropriately dressed. So we're going to be fine. I might split my trousers, but we're all good.
That would make for great TV, so it's fine.
Okay, so the first one, great move for your waist. Feet slightly wider than hip width apart. We're going to bring our bums down. We're going to bring our arms up.
Cracks.
Yeah, exactly. Bring your arms out, and we're just going to drive the car like we've just been talking. It's so nice. We've got no kids in the car. We're just going for a drive.
Is this actually how you drive the car?
Yeah, this is actually how I drive the car when I'm on that motorway, on that slow lane, like I was talking about. So really good for your waist, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So and your bum.
Yeah.
So with the bum, now we're going to keep our feet. We're going to go sumo style, so toes out. We're going to come down.
My knees are going to crack again. I've got a terrible knee.
Now get a bit of a bounce on. Now bring one hand out. We're riding the pony.
Now I've got that song Pony stuck in my head.
Yeah, exactly. Channing Tatum.
Is that what you do it to?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is
literally
so funny.
Channing Tatum.
I love that.
Right. My pony.
I love that. We need
but you
some
can
music.
feel it, right?
Christ, my legs, I'm feeling it
already. Exactly. Yeah. Actually quite effective.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Okay, we're going to lean down. And we're going to rev up the chainsaw.
Oh,
all the way.
Like a lawnmower.
Yeah, like lawnmower. Exactly.
Love
chainsaw, lawnmower, but you're getting into your waist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it.
It's kind of like a lunge when you go that way, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good move. Yeah. Really good move. Okay, next one.
Is it bad that I'm getting out of breath already?
Guys,
I'm too unfit for
with
this.
dance parties, we usually do them to battle style, so only 20 seconds at a time, which is always quite nice.
Yeah.
Now the next one, we all know a twit. Yeah.
What, like a person
No,
that's a
like
twit?
a person who's a twit.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so you're going to kick the twit.
Oh, amazing. Who shall I?
So this is really like, this is where the mental health comes in. Exactly. Kick the twit. Kick the twit.
How high can you get?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I know quite a few twits. So
there's a lot of kids that I drop kick as well, to be fair. You know when you're at soft play and there's just that annoying little twat kid that wants to hurt your kid, and I'm like, I will drop kick you.
Yeah, there you go. Kick the twit.
There you go.
And then next we're going to imagine there's a ball here. Lean down. She shoots. She scores.
Oh, okay.
Little jumps. She shoots. She scores. But we're going to go off to the side. So we're shooting and scoring over there.
Squat jump.
Yeah.
Love it.
Squat jumps, but just every time.
I don't need to go on the Peloton today. I'm out of breath.
Exactly. And then finally, I'm just showing you 5 moves because as you can see, we're out of breath.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to get down on your tummy.
Cracky crack crack. Do you hear that?
Yeah, actually. Down on your tummy, arms up. Okay, now we're in the pool. Yeah. All right, it's a beautiful day, and there's a cocktail at the end of that. Oh, God. All right, there you go. And then we're going with the legs.
Do you actually do this?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, literally, and you just go all the way. You imagine.
Oh yeah, you can feel it in your bum.
Yeah, pina colada. It's over there. Go.
This is good for the bum.
It's really good for the bum.
Yeah,
really good for the bum. And there you go.
Christ.
5 moves.
Now, where is my fucking pina colada? I think I should have one after that.
But there's so many moves that we can think about, like just like silly little situations. And when you're thinking about it, and you're almost taking yourself to a different world, then you're not thinking about the fact that you're out of breath. You're just having a laugh.
I love when fitness is fun like that.
God, it's
like Zumba. You know, when you're being all like sexy.
Oh my God! I mean, I cannot do Zumba.
I can't either because I've got 2 left feet. Yeah. But it's fun when you're doing it.
Oh, it's really fun. It's really fun. And I think it's just about finding a space that you feel that you can do that. Yeah, I mean, like, and I love a dance party because I just think, because they're the ones that I do, because I have no coordination.
Yeah.
No coordination needed.
There you go.
Having a bit of a laugh, but even in like strength training, I would just literally be like, think about yourself as a granny. We're here. We're picking up a box. Like. Whatever it might be, it's just like taking the edge off it and making it a bit fun.
I love that. I've got a VR headset and they do a game called Beat Saber.
So fun.
And that, I come out of that absolutely dripping with sweat, but I don't know that I've done a workout, but I'm literally dripping.
Kitchen disco.
Yeah,
there's a kitchen disco. There's nothing better. It just takes you out of your head, into your body. And the thing is, emotions are stuck in motion. So when you start moving your body, then if you're feeling low, if you're feeling sad, whatever it might be, start moving your body and it can literally 5 minutes completely transform the way they feel.
Amazing. Yeah. I love that.
Great.
Okay. Right. Well, let's head over. We're going to go do spin and spill on the wheel now.
Okay.
Here we go. So here is our spin and spill wheel, which I always can't say. I'm like, spin and spill. Right. So if you want to give it a good spin, we'll see what you get.
Okay.
So some of these are audience. What has been your best part of motherhood?
I think that as they are getting older, people slag off teenagers quite a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's because we know what sort of teenagers we were.
Yeah, oh my God, exactly. Yeah. But I think that what I am really enjoying about teenagers is starting to be able to like relive some of your things with them and share like it's almost like when they have their mates over, like we like share jokes with them, and we're quite like pally with them, and I didn't expect that quite so much, but I think having had them quite young, I was 22 when I had the boys, and so I'm just really enjoying feeling like they are friends, like have the boundaries, but having like a laugh with them. Although I did watch American Pie with my sons.
You didn't.
And I literally
was it the one with the pie fucking?
Oh yeah. I mean,
I can't. I'd be like,
that wasn't even the worst bit. There were some of the
but the pie fucking makes me die.
Oh, I mean, I was like, I'm just gonna go and make a cup of tea. Like it was so bad. So like reliving like some of those things, like watching films like that with them. But then I mean, watching a sex scene with your son.
Yeah. I wonder what's worse, watching it with your son or your parents.
Oh God.
I don't know what's worse.
Yeah. We went away for my mum's 70th recently, and we watched even just Chocolat was just just too much.
Yeah, no.
She kept going on about how fit Johnny Depp was. I was like,
oh God. I couldn't cope. I'm dreading when my kids want to watch stuff that's got sex scenes in it. I'll be like, although my 6-year-old, has your 6-year-old asked about sex yet?
Oh yeah.
See, mine did the other day and I was not prepared for it this early. And I was like, just give me some time to think about that answer. I'll come back to you.
It's coming much later with the other two. So I was not expecting it at all. But I think like they are just, it is all happening.
I just didn't know what to say. I was like, I'm going to come back to you with that once I've got a good enough answer.
Oh my God.
So I still haven't answered her and I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to have to do it soon.
You're going to have to. Oh yeah, well I think we both need to buy a book, don't we? There's probably books
I need a book
explaining
there you go. Take that. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's far too early.
Well, I did get totally outed the other day when someone was talking about an 18 and I went, oh no, he hasn't watched that. And my son went, yeah, I have. Can't control everything.
No. We were at, as I said earlier when we were talking, we went to a garden centre today. My daughter's got an inset day and we're having a girly day. We went into a reptile centre.
Oh yeah.
And there was these 2 frogs, one on top of the other. And my daughter was like, Mummy, look, it's giving it a piggyback. And I was like, yeah, that's not a piggyback. And she was like,
nice way of putting it.
I was like, okay, we're just going to just brush past that. All of them are at it.
If she ever walks in on you, you can just say, don't worry,
Daddy's giving me a piggyback. A naked piggyback. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I dread all these conversations. I'm not ready for it. I was thinking maybe like 10, 11 it would come out. No,
well, also
freaking 6.
They get given condoms, and so we found
hopefully not yet.
No, but secondary school.
Yeah.
And it was way younger than I thought. They were like 13, and so when I found the condoms in the drawer, that really made my heart go.
Oh, God.
I was like,
because they also look and seem a lot younger than you think they are. So I think back to my first boyfriend was when I was 14.
Yeah.
But me looking at my children when they're 14, they won't feel like they're 14 to me. I'll still look at them and think, oh, you're my baby.
You think you were so old?
I thought I was so old.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I was actually quite old at 14 for my first boyfriend. Yeah. Like all my friends had boyfriends. And
I do think it's all happening later, though. When I like suggested to the other twin, Charlie, when he had his girlfriend round, and I was like, I think you need to have the door open. He was like, don't be gross. I wouldn't be doing anything. And I was like, would you not? Like,
yeah. I
What's
did.
wrong with you?
Jesus, my slag. Christ.
It's slow.
Yeah. Oh, I dread it. You're going through it all now, so good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks.
So it is now time for Stroller Speedway. How are you feeling about Stroller Speedway?
I'm quite nervous because I'm actually a little bit competitive. So I was earlier looking at the times thinking, okay, I actually want to do quite well.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Some of the higher up ones, their cleaning was questionable.
Okay. So it's the quality doesn't matter? Is that what you're trying to say?
They got time added on.
Oh, okay.
So there
are consequences.
Yeah, there are consequences. If baby Annabelle has still got shit all over her leg, like it was in some of them, they get 10 seconds added on. So
all right.
Yeah, but they're still at the top of the leaderboard. But yeah. So let's head over.
Okay.
So Annabelle has done a poo. You're going to change her nappy, put a clean one on, clean her as nice as you'd clean your own child. Put her nappy back on, put her back in the stroller, slalom that way, touch me on the shoulder to finish.
Okay.
And I'm going to count you down.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm actually quite nervous.
You've got this.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That was definitely a head start there, but we're going to pretend we didn't see that, guys, okay?
Yes. Oh, God. Oh. Okay.
It's,
oh, God. Oh, wow.
I bet you're so glad you put those stick-on nails on.
Oh, it's literally under the nail. It's under the nail. Oh, wow. There's like a little bit of white in there too. She's all right. Has she not got like a yeast infection?
She's got issues. She's got, it's that mixed Nutella,
God,
the white chocolate.
So thick.
I know, it's worse than poo, I'm telling you.
It just keeps coming out.
You've got this.
Okay. I think that's about as good as I do. Look, I was always pretty lazy when it comes to nappies. I'm not gonna lie.
That baby's still covered in shit.
Oh, she's got her head in it. Oh, God. Okay, all right. Oh, my God, I'm so... Oh, no, it's literally everywhere. Okay, all right, love, that's going to have to do.
Right, back in the pushchair. You're at a minute now.
Okay, oh, gosh, okay. All right.
Go. And back again. Okay, what do you reckon?
Oh, really bad. I don't know.
Wasn't that bad, actually?
Not that bad.
1 minute 15.
Oh, gosh.
So, you are just here, which is actually pretty good.
Okay, all right, I'll take... Do you know what? I will take that. It has been so long. Whenever I look after anyone's kid, if they do a shit, then I'm literally like... I just wait out until the parent comes back.
But yeah, you did pretty well. You're in the middle, so
okay.
Good job.
All right.
Right, let's head back over.
Okay.
So, how was your experience of Stroller Speedway?
Excellent. Have not done that in a long time.
Yeah, I bet you're regretting putting your stick-on nails on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for coming on today as well. Honestly, so many mums out there are going to benefit from this. I've just looked down at our shoes and I've realised our shoes are matching.
I love
it. Twinning. Just totally got distracted by that. So many mums are going to benefit from this because I know multiple people that are struggling out there to fit in their exercise, so they will relate and hopefully come across to you and sign up to your coaching. So could you tell them all where we can find you online?
So on Instagram, if you search the She Collective, or really confusingly, the handle is We Are the She.
Could you not get the She Collective?
No,
I've got that.
It was like really random. I was going to have to be like the She Collective one blog.
Oh God, yeah, it's so. I've got an agency called .social, and I had to do We Are .social because I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
And usually when you go onto it, it's someone who's got like one post and they haven't been online since 2019, and you're like, fuck off. Yeah.
Same for the website, wearetheshe.com, and then the membership is all based on that because, like I say, these things have got to work with your life, not against it. But we're a really strong community, and it's just like it's all about women like lifting each other up and helping one another on the journey. Because yes, it's tough, but yes, it can be really fun.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you to everyone for watching and listening at home. Please do download, subscribe, comment, all the things, and I'll see you next time.